true strength isn't the loudest shout, but the quiet resolve that needs no voice. In a world obsessed with retaliation, rebuttal, and proving oneself, silence is often mistaken for surrender. Yet, as men over 40, you've learned, when insulted, you don't always strike back. When ignored, you don't always speak up. When attacked, you don't always defend. What if real power lies not in opposition, but in restraint? This is the Stoic paradox. You gain true control not by clashing with your adversary's energy, but by mastering your own. Enter Machiavelli, the controversial thinker of power, manipulation, and political control, who grasped what many still miss. He believed mastering your image, emotions, and reactions is far more potent than brute force. In The Prince, he wrote, "If you can't be both loved and feared, let them fear you." But this fear isn't about violence. It's about control, control of perception, timing, and the power of silence. Today, we explore 6 Stoic rules of silence to wield unshakable power. These aren't empty boasts or mind games, they're calculated growth, invisible strength, and the refined art of becoming unbreakable. Begin this journey with clear eyes, looking outward and inward. True power isn't about controlling others. It's about never letting others control you. Write this in the comments. My silence is my greatest weapon. Before we dive in, like, comment, share this video, subscribe, and don't skip a second. Each part builds the foundation for something monumental. First, stop explaining yourself. Benjamin Disraeli said, "Never complain, never explain." The most powerful stance is letting go of the need to be understood. Most men are addicted to justifying themselves, endlessly explaining decisions, defending actions, seeking validation. Yet every time you over-explain, you surrender a piece of your power. You subtly say, "Your opinion matters more than my peace." Power begins when you stop giving it away. Think about it. Have you ever seen a man say no without reason, or act unpredictably, yet refuse to justify? There's something magnetic, almost intimidating, about him. That mystery commands respect. It's authority through simplicity, clarity that needs no defense. Machiavelli mastered this. He urged rulers to act decisively but conceal their true intentions. When others can't predict your motives, they can't manipulate or control you. Unpredictability is power. In real life, you may be quietly growing, changing habits, cutting toxic ties. Success may not yet be visible, and others doubt you. Don't answer them. Let time speak. Every explanation you offer is a crack in the fortress you're building. And trust me, that fortress holds immense strength. Others fear what they can't read. They dismiss what they understand. But if you're a silent storm moving with purpose, needing no justification, you become untouchable. Here's a truth rarely spoken. The strongest men walk away from arguments they could win, just to preserve their peace. They know reacting is a distraction. If someone demands your reasons, they're likely not aligned with your path. Silence isn't weakness, it's a weapon. You owe no one an explanation. You owe yourself results. Second, let their ego destroy them. Napoleon Bonaparte said, "Never interrupt an enemy making a mistake." Power isn't always about charging forward. Sometimes It's the strategic pause, watching others overplay their hand while you stand firm. The ego blinds. The most dangerous man in any room thinks he's untouchable. When someone insults or underestimates you, don't correct them. Let them think you're nothing. Let them lower their guard. Then strike. Machiavelli valued appearances, not for deceit, but for strategy. Seem weaker than you are, less sharp than you are. This gives you insight, advantage, and exposes their flaws. True power resists the urge to prove itself. The moment you try to prove something, you're playing their game. And if their game is ego, they've had more practice. Let them talk. Let them underestimate you. Let them mistake your silence for ignorance. While they perform, you're building. This unfolds in every facet of life: career, relationships, social standing. Someone thinks they've outdone you. They boast, mock your silence. But with patience, focus, and strategy, they unravel themselves. The louder they are, the more they reveal. When their ego spirals, they dig their own grave. Have you ever seen someone so smug they got reckless, assuming you're no threat? It happens often. In those moments, you choose match their chaos or master yourself. Choose mastery. You don't control the board by moving every piece at once. You win by letting them think you're losing, then striking with absolute clarity. Let their ego build the stage. You just wait for the curtain to fall. Third, success is your only response. The Joker in The Dark Knight said, "If you're good at something, never do it for free." Now, consider the ultimate silent power move growing so relentlessly that words become unnecessary. There's a quiet beauty in focusing so intensely on yourself that external noise fades. Others envy. You build. They doubt your worth. You keep building. They stir drama. You stay disciplined. That's the formula. Machiavelli warned that public perception is everything. Don't waste time defending your name. Let your achievements silence critics. In other words, don't talk about power. Create it. The most misunderstood men are those transforming. You're not the old you, but not yet the full you. So what happens? People judge, they doubt, they dismiss. And in that fragile phase, most falter. But not you. Your task is to build silently in the shadows. Don't boast every step. Don't broadcast every plan. Don't retaliate. Let your growth humble them. Let your evolution shame their misjudgments. As you rise, you'll grow quieter, not from fear, but from focus. Silence isn't empty, it's alive with progress. True change is quieter than false bravado. You may feel invisible now. That's fine. It's part of the plan. Caterpillars don't shout before becoming butterflies. They retreat, transform, and emerge. When they do, their wings speak louder than words. Be that. Let others wonder what you're building. Let them speculate. Let them fall silent when you enter the room months later, not because you spoke, but because you've become someone new. That's how the powerful win through results. Silence and undeniable growth. Write this in the comments. My success is my only answer. Fourth, vanish to rise stronger. Marcus Aurelius said, withdraw into yourself. In silence, you find strength. Sometimes, the most powerful move is to step away, not in anger or weakness, but with purpose. When your growth outpaces your surroundings, conversations turn shallow. energies grow heavy and expectations diminish. That's when you disappear. This isn't isolation, it's incubation. Machiavelli distrusted crowds, warning leaders that the masses are fickle. They praise you today, curse you tomorrow. True leaders govern from a distance, not out of arrogance, but preservation. Distance grants clarity, and clarity grants power. There's something sacred in stepping back. You stop performing, reacting, feeding the noise. In that silence, you reconnect with your purpose. You recalibrate. You rebuild. Society dislikes your absence. Why? Because when you're not always present, you become unpredictable. The unpredictable are dangerous because they can't be controlled. People will guilt you, saying, "You've changed," acting strange. Good. That's the point. You're not meant to stay stuck in old cycles, always available for the same drama, gossip, or comfort zones. Your retreat is your weapon. Use it by stepping out of sight. You escape comparison's grip. You hear your inner voice. When you return, if you return, you're sharper, calmer, more focused. They won't recognize you, and they shouldn't. Let your old self rest in peace. You don't owe anyone a front row seat to your transformation. Keep your goals private. Vanish. Then rise like the moon emerging from clouds, radiant, complete. Undeniable. Write this in the comments. I vanish to rise higher. Fifth, don't react, observe. Lao Tzu said, "He who controls others may be powerful, but he who masters himself is mightier still." Most men can't resist reacting. An insult triggers a retort. Doubt sparks proof. Disrespect demands defense. But here's the rule. Every reaction is a transaction, costing you power. Machiavelli knew emotions, cloud, judgment. A prince who reacts impulsively is easily manipulated, but one who observes, remembers, and waits for the right moment is formidable. Picture the most dangerous men in any room. They're not the loudest or most aggressive, they're the quietest. They observe, remember, and study the patterns. When the moment is right, they act with precision. That's your path now. Don't argue with fools, study them. Don't retaliate when attacked, analyze. Don't respond to every jab. Take note. Storing knowledge for when it serves you. You become strategic, not reactive, but deliberate. This applies everywhere. In relationships, when someone tries to manipulate you, don't argue, watch their behavior. Log it in your mind. Trust the pattern. At work, when someone undermines you, don't lash out. Take note. Understand their game. Use it to outmaneuver them later. In public, when someone tries to humiliate you, stay calm. Their insecurity reveals more about them than you. Let it show. This isn't coldness, it's wisdom. You're not a puppet, jerked by strings or dancing to orders. Your power lies in choosing when, how, or if to respond. While they react to everything, you're building a memory bank, a strategy, a legacy. When the time comes, your move will seem like luck. It's not. It's discipline. Sixth, defeat them with indifference. Anton Chekhov said, "Being insulted by a fool is a pleasure." There comes a point in your growth when insults no longer sting, not because they stop, but because you stop caring. That moment is true dominance. You've heard, Defeat them with kindness, but kindness still engages, acknowledges their presence. Go further, defeat them with indifference. This is the ultimate power, ignoring petty distractions. Machiavelli taught leaders to dismiss trivial matters. A wise leader, he said, appears virtuous, but acts only when it serves his greater vision. That means ignoring unworthy insults, petty battles, and anything that doesn't advance your purpose, not from weakness, but focus. Not every jab deserves a counter. Not every rumor needs clearing. The most powerful men know their worth isn't up for debate. Their indifference terrifies the insecure. They want you to flinch, to lose composure. When you don't, they crumble. Picture this. Someone provokes you, and you smile, nod, or walk away. What happens? They escalate, grow louder, more dramatic. Why? Your silence echoes, saying, I'm above your level. That's dominance, not noise, not revenge, but the calm choice to ignore their efforts. Let them talk. Let them provoke. Let them wonder why you're unmoved. While they obsess over your silence, you're building something greater. You've mastered your reactions, presence, and inner peace. That control is unassailable, authentic, earned through emotional discipline. So, next time someone drags you toward a pointless argument, don't engage, don't defend, don't explain, just move forward as if they never existed. That's how you dominate without entering their arena. It's not weakness, it's emotional immortality. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Now you know the 6 principles of silence for total mastery. Each principle isn't just strategy, it's about you, your silence. Restraint, growth, and indifference aren't retreat, but the bedrock of Stoic power. Stoicism mirrors Machiavelli's genius. If you master yourself, no one else can. That's the ultimate victory. Let them underestimate you. Let them gossip. Let them wonder. Your power isn't proven through noise, but through what you don't do. You don't react. You don't beg. You don't explain. You don't fight petty battles, because you're building an empire within. The Stoics taught that the greatest triumph is over yourself, not enemies, rivals, or the world, but your inner voice urging anger, your ego craving revenge, your fear seeking validation. Silence that voice, and everything aligns. Machiavelli rules through perception. Stoicism rules through principle. Combine them, and you're untouchable. Here's the final message. Don't resist. Don't shout. Don't react. Master yourself. Act in silence. Let your results roar. This is your moment to rise in a way no one can stop, because no one saw it coming. Write this in the comments. My silence speaks louder than their noise. If this video stirred something in you, made you pause, reflect, and feel stronger in your presence, don't keep it to yourself. Like this video, comment your favorite principle, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe. This is just the beginning. You're not just learning about power, you're becoming it. See you next time. Act in silence. Rule with presence.